Hi everyone, I hope you're well. I just wanted to share with you a tone tip that I kind of borrowed off Brent Mason. Now I'm a massive Brent Mason fan. I actually built this guitar. It's eventually going to be like a Brent Mason Telecaster with the middle pickup and the extra volume knob there. But it's a work in progress. But it's got the same pickups that he has in the bridge and the neck. This vintage Tele stack by Seymour Duncan in the bridge and an SM1N mini humbucker in the neck. Okay, let's show you this little trick. So supposing you're confronted with an amp that just doesn't quite cut through and you can get it sounding quite nice, but it doesn't have that really exciting attack that Brent gets, especially on the cleaner, twangier stuff. Now, he uses a G7. I've done what I can to replicate it in the Helix world with this Parametric EQ. So if I play quite a thick, low voicing chord on the neck pickup, you can hear that could quite easily bloat a band mix, especially in certain rooms. Now that bloat generally occurs around 200 Hertz, but you can also reduce it at around 400 Hertz, which is what I've done here. If you take too much of 200 away, you really lose the body of the guitar. So 400 is actually quite a good place to do it if you do it carefully so you don't strip out that part of the body. But we've got a little scoop here of 3 dB with a Q of 1.2. Now if I play that same chord, you really hear it tighten up and come forward in the mix. Now that's partially down to the other parts of the EQ as well, but the 400 Hertz really helps tighten up the bottom end. And then without it. Okay, so now the next part of the EQ that we're looking at, we've got 800 Hertz. Now this is obviously much higher in the mid-range. It's around about where the Tube Screamer frequency sits, maybe a little bit higher. But if I boost it, you'll hear what we're getting rid of. So that's the opposite of twang, that's like cocked wah. So this is the really nasal stuff that Brent references in the rig rundown that this is based on. Now, rather than boosting it by 8.3, or even 12, you get a really exaggerated effect. But that's not Brent at all, and that's not the nicest sound. So we're going to go back to minus 1.5. Now let's put it back to 0, see if we notice a difference. So it's only a subtle move really, but it really helps to just take a bit of the nose out of the guitar. We've got one more EQ band at 1.6 Hertz. Now this is to really accentuate the attack. Not too much. It's very easy to overdo it if I whack it all the way up to 12. That's really harsh at that point. But if we get rid of it, the guitar feels really distant. So we're going to go back to 2 dB, I think it was. Yeah, 2 dB. Without it. So that's the EQ part. Now let's have a look at the compressor. Now these are the two most important, in my opinion, components of Brent's sound other than the amp and the guitar. So these two are running into the normal channel of the deluxe reverb with an H30 speaker, and I've got a little bit of reverb on. Now the EQ's already on. Then we've got this compressor. It's very, very easy with a compressor to set it so it's not in the optimum position for what you want. For this setting, we've got a threshold of negative 50.4 decibels. And you can see from the gain reduction, we're getting between 6 and 12 dB of gain reduction with a ratio of 4:1. Some people set the attack even quicker for this sound, but I find it actually kind of squashes a bit too much of the pick attack, especially for a Brent Mason kind of thing. So I've got the attack set on 50 milliseconds. So it's still catching everything and keeping it nice and even, but it's not squashing it. So I like it around 50 milliseconds. Because then you still get the pick coming through. And the release is set to 100 milliseconds. Now, the most important part is the mix. The mix is on 65%. Now, if I put that all the way up to 100, you get that, what I think of as like a Corey Wong feel, where it's so squashed. Which is great for what he does, but it's a different type of compression sound. And then obviously if you turn it all the way off, you don't get the compression at all. But I really like the parallel blend there, and it helps you get real punch and clarity for licks. So let's try it with both of them off. Now I'm going to add the EQ on. Closer. Now let's add the compressor back. Just makes you want to play more, because the compression makes it more fun and everything can be heard that little bit better. You can even hear in the rig rundown that Brent says he doesn't use a lot of compression. Now what I think that means is he doesn't use a high compression ratio, and you can see on the actual pedal itself the mix knob is probably turned around 60-70%. So this is as close as I can get at the moment to replicating Brent's sound. Now I'll put a template so you can use these two blocks at the start with whatever amp you like and whatever signal chain you like. But if you want the full Brent signal chain with 2 overdrives, a delay and a reverb, that's based off what he does in the video as well. And that will be available for purchase for £2 on Gumroad. If you found this video of interest, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. It really helps me out and I'm really enjoying doing this and sharing it with you. Let me know how you use your compressor, and also if you have any other uses for an EQ pedal, and I will check them out and maybe do some more videos on this sort of thing. And also let me know if you have any other uses for an EQ pedal. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in another video soon.